Good evening, everybody. Good evening. You're welcome to the forgiveness process. Thank you so much for coming in and coming in on time. We are going to start now. If you want to change your name, please feel free to remain anonymous. And if you want to leave your name on, please feel free. You have a choice to leave your name on or to remain anonymous. Thank you so much for coming in this evening, and I trust that by the end of this evening's session, those things, the people that you've found it difficult to forgive, you found difficult, to let go. I believe at the end of this evening's session, you will be able to say, truly, I've let them go. I know quite a number of us have had to deal with unforgiveness. I've had to deal with it as well, at different times in my life. And one of the things about unforgiveness is that it drains. It drains you. It drains you. It makes you not to be your best. It makes you to be less than, who God has created you to be. So today I'll just walk through a few things that I've noted down. Then we'll go through the process together. It's something I've walked through myself, and it has helped me, a lot. It has really, really helped me. And I felt it would be great if I can share my own experience with other people. When I'm in the counseling room, I meet quite a number of people who are finding it difficult to forgive a friend, a spouse, a partner, the parent, even the children. It comes up again and again and again and again. And, I just thought it, wise, to put this together and just share what I've been able to benefit from, with us as well. There are a few things I'll share with us, before we go into the process itself. We need to know that when we are talking about forgiveness, we are saying we are letting go of grudges, we are letting go of bitterness, we are letting go of anger. That is what we are saying when we are talking forgiveness, and we must not forget that we are spiritual beings. We are spiritual beings. Yes, we are having human experiences. We should never forget that we are spiritual beings. We are spiritual beings. Don't you ever forget that. When someone that you care about hurts you or does something that you didn't expect from that person, you find out that you hold that person in your heart, you are angry, you are resentful, you're thinking of how to revenge, how to hurt that person, how to hurt that person if care is not taken. But what we need to do as children of God is to embrace forgiveness and move forward. I tell people that, we hear a lot of, forgive and forget. The truth is, there are some experiences you cannot just forget. But the beautiful thing is when you remember those experiences, it shouldn't be with bitterness. It shouldn't be with revenge. It shouldn't be with resentment. You should be able to remember those experiences and be able to pinpoint, the lessons you have learned and how the experiences have made you a better person. And when we're talking about forgiveness, we should not forget that we have also hurt people. We have also hurt people. And if those people that we have hurt are keeping us in their heart, as we have decided to do so, that wouldn't be a good thing to do. So we should never forget that we have hurt others. We've hurt others. And the people we have hurt, they too may have, that feeling of anger, that feeling of bitterness, that feeling of even vengeance. There are times that we are hurting so much that it's already tending towards revenge. It's already tending towards revenge. So we need to watch it. We need to ensure that we do not allow that, to fester. We should not allow unforgiveness to fester. When we're talking about forgiveness, we are not saying that you should excuse or forget the harm that has been done to you, like I mentioned. We are saying that get into a space wherein you enjoy peace, even as you move on with life. I'll speak from my own personal experience. I find out that when I hold someone in my heart, I find it very difficult to create. I find it very difficult to be at my best. I'll keep struggling. I'll just keep coping. But when I allow people go, I become a creative individual. Ideas begin to flow. Ideas begin to flow. And there are some, benefits to you even you forgiving other people. It improves your health. It gives you peace of mind. You have healthier relationships with people. You have healthier relationships with people. You are less anxious. There's no stress. You are not hostile. You don't have high blood pressure. No depression. You are not depressed. Your immune system is good. You find out that even your self-esteem is in top shape. So those are the advantages to you living in forgiveness. We find out that we become unforgiving, especially if we are hurt by people that we love and we trust. Especially when trust has been broken, most likely unforgiveness is going to definitely thrive. You see people angry, people sad as a result of unforgiveness. As a result of unforgiveness. And we find out that if we dwell on hurtful events and situations, there is no how. Grudges will fill our hearts. You can never be at your best if you dwell on, if you allow negative feelings, to crowd out, the positive feelings in your heart. And I want to say something here, that our personality also plays out. There are some people, as a result of their personality, they find it easy to forgive. And there are some other people, by the virtue of their personality, they find it difficult to forgive. I'll talk about even the temperaments as well. We have the cholerics, we have the sanguines, we have the melancholies, we have the phlegmatics. We find out that the melancholies and the cholerics find it more, difficult to forgive, while the phlegmatics and the sanguines find it easier to forgive. So you need to first of all know yourself, so that when you're finding it difficult to forgive, you know that, oh, this part of me is playing out. This weakness is playing out. I happen to be a melancholy, and I found out that, forgiving doesn't, come easily to me. Even though, I may say, oh, it's okay, it's fine. I find out that it takes a while, especially when the hurt comes from someone that I love, someone that I trust. It takes a while. And that for me was what made me to say, okay, there must be a process to this thing. There must be a way, that I can go through this process and truly, truly forgive without deceiving myself. You know, I've had situations wherein I've had to pray, I've had to fast, to let go, to let go. And one of the beautiful things about God is He has put His Spirit in us human beings. He has opened the eyes of people to know what to do, to know the things to do to make life journey easier. He has opened up men and women to be able to know the things that we can do to get to those places that we want to get to. I want to ask a question, and I would like us to answer in the chat room. Do we have people who have who have hurt them, and they've tried over and over and over and over to forgive them? Please, I just want you to go into the chat room and put yes. If you have someone at the moment that has hurt you so much, and you've tried to forgive, you've prayed, you've fasted, you've talked to God about it, and you're finding it difficult to forgive, please let's go to the chat room and let me have yes if we have people like that in the house this evening. Have to walk through the path, of having to forgive. So I want to get a feedback from us so that I'll be sure of the people we have. You can send it to me as a private response as well. If you don't want to send it to everyone, you can send to me as a private response. Do we have people in the house this evening who have people that have hurt them and they are finding it difficult to forgive? Okay, fantastic. Okay, thank you so much. Thank you for the response. You can private message me. And if you don't want to use your name, please, by all means, you can be anonymous. This is more like a maxed session. So if you don't want us to know you, you can feel free to just go anonymous. So yes, we all have people that have, offended us, and people that we have even offended as well. And it's important that we let go. We let go. We let go. Unforgiveness or grudge brings anger, it brings bitterness. It's you get so much wrapped up in the wrong that the person has done, such that you don't even have time to enjoy the goodness in the present. You're so much wrapped up. When you see the person pass by, your heart skips a bit. When you see the person move by, when you see the person maybe rejoicing or happy, you become sad, you become depressed, you become anxious. If care is not taken, you may even begin to feel, there's no meaning to life again. Even your spiritual relationship with God becomes tampered with, because there's no how you're working in unforgiveness and you can connect with God. It's tough. It's tough. When you are living in unforgiveness, it's tough for you to connect with God. You even find out that there are relationships, great relationships that you should, cultivate with the people you are holding in unforgiveness. You find out that you lose this relationships, you lose this meaningful connections. You lose this meaningful connection. And for you to get to that point wherein you say that I've indeed forgiven this person, you have to commit to forgiving the person. You have to make up your mind, I'm moving away from, the pain that is attached to unforgiveness. And I'm moving into forgiveness. You have to make up your mind. you have to make up your mind. You have to recognize the value, that forgiveness carry, and how it can improve your life. When you forgive someone, how your life gets improved. Another thing that you need to do is to identify, what you need to forgive. What you need to forgive. You need to identify that. What exactly, or who do you need to forgive? There are even some of us that we need to forgive ourselves. We've made some decisions at some point in our lives, and we are so upset with ourselves. There are times when I'm having counseling sessions with my clients that we have what we call the mirror work, wherein you have to look at yourself in the mirror and say some things to yourself. And I found out that there's some people who cannot stand them looking at themselves in the mirror because they are so disappointed in themselves. You find people who just say, no, I can't go on. You find people who just break down and start crying. So you need to identify what needs to be healed. It may even be you. It may be someone. It may be a parent. It may be a sibling. It may be a friend. You need to recognize, that particular thing. And another thing you need to know and to do is to tell yourself, I'm not a victim. Always operate from the position of strength. Always operate from the position of strength. As I take us through the process, I would help us even in changing the narrative of whatever the incident it is. Always operate from the position of strength. Take charge. Don't give the situation or the individual the power to rule your life. For those of us who are Christians, there's a part of the Bible that says that all that we need for life and godliness has been released unto us. So you have the power. You have the power. God has given everything that you need. He has handed it over to you. And you have a right, you have you have the right, to exercise this power that God has made available to you. Part of the things we need to note when we are struggling with unforgiveness is to practice empathy. Put yourself in the other person's shoes. There are people, and most of the time, there's a saying that a hurting person will always hurt another person. We find out that when people hurt you, when people, harm you, you need to dig deep and find out, why did this person, did what he or she did? Something has gone wrong in the person's life. I usually, play out this analogy that when a child is born, a child does not tell the mom, oh, mom, when I get to age 20, I will so much show you Pepe. I will so much trouble you that you will say, why did I have this child? No child does that. But when we get to this side of eternity, a lot of things happen to us, and we begin to do things that ordinarily we wouldn't do. So part of the things we're going to go through in this process is, we'll practice empathy along the line. We'll ask ourselves why the person did what he or she did, or even we, if we are the ones that we need to forgive ourselves. Another thing you need to reflect upon, which I said, is we've also hurt other people. We've also hurt other people. We've also hurt other people. at some point in our lives. And if they also choose to hold us, then what happens? And forgiveness, we need to know it's a process, and that's why we are here today. We have quite a number of people, they'll say, oh, I don't want to talk about it. I don't want to go there. It's always important you go there and heal. I will be going to some places tonight. In just a few minutes, we'll go to some places. We'll go to those places where we have been hurt so that we can forgive. I'll take us through the process, and if it happens that by the time we're done, we still have other areas that we still need to forgive people, I'll itemize, the process to us so that even on your own, it's something you can do on your own. I'll itemize the process for us so that after now, we can actually go through it again and again and again and again. We need to find out, we need to understand that there are times when we forgive people, there may not be reconciliation. You may not get back to where you used to. But the bottom line is ensure that you forgive. Very important. Even if there's no reconciliation. I know that there's a lot of people that say, oh no, we have to come together. We have to be like how we used to be. There are times it may not be like it used to be. But the bottom line is you have forgiven. You are free. Even if the person that has hurt you has chosen not to change, you make up your mind that I want peace in my life. I want happiness. I want emotional and spiritual healing. And as such, I'm going to forgive. I'm going to forgive. I'm going to forgive. Like I mentioned, if you are the one that has, hurt yourself, you need to forgive yourself. And don't make excuses for your misbehavior or your wrongdoing. I've had to forgive myself. I've had to, sort of go back to places that ordinarily I wouldn't have loved to visit in my past. And I've had to look at them and told myself, Ayo, you didn't do well here. And I've had to commit myself to doing better. Forgiving myself, moving away from it, and doing better. And so, this evening, I'm going to just take us through a process of, forgiving ourselves, forgiving people that have hurt us at some point. Because it's really, really, really important we do that for us to move on. Jesus himself even said that we should forgive. We should forgive. He gave it to us as an injunction before he left. So it is a must for us to. And trust me, from experience, I know when you forgive, when you let go, you begin to enjoy. You become creative. Your mind is open to receive from God. Your mind is open to take delivery of all that God has for you. Your mind is open. Your mind is open. You begin to operate in another realm. You begin to see things that ordinarily you wouldn't have seen if you had allowed yourself to continue to live in unforgiveness. It's a fantastic space to be. People will always hurt us. We too, we hurt people. So it is a choice we have to make to say, for me, I've chosen to forgive and I've chosen to move on so that I can live life to the fullest, so that I can be the best I've been created to be. So that when all is said and done, I can look back and be able to say that indeed I've put in my best. Indeed, I've put in my best. I've put in my best. So in the next few minutes, I'll just walk us through that process. I'll walk us through that process. And before I say that, before we go there, I'll just encourage us. Part of the things I have in my daily ritual or my daily routine is I take time to meditate. Before now, I used to think, I've said it, I'm sure a lot of people that have heard me speak on meditation would have heard this. I used to think meditation was spooky. I used to think it was a religious something. But thank God for opening my eyes to see that it is something that we all need to put into our day. It's something that relaxes us and puts us in that mode to be our best. I try as much as possible to meditate at least like 10 minutes a day. There are days I miss out on it, but I found out that it really, really helps. There are days I have so much today to do, and I'm like, let me jump into my day. I just tell myself, no, Ayo, relax, go through your meditation, and then I go into my day. So it's something that I would just encourage us, a practice I would encourage us to put into our schedule. It is fantastic. It helps you, to be at your best. It helps you to be at your best. It's a routine that you need to put into your life. So as we go into the process, the forgiveness process, I'm going to play just soft music in the background, just to get us into that space. These are kind of the kind of music I play when I'm having my meditation in the mornings. I just allow it play in the background and I just relax. There are times I do it lying on my bed. There are times I sit up and I just focus on my breath. I just focus on my breath. And I find out that when I do it, my forehead just relaxes. Even my brow, I find out that everything just calms down. So please, let's read more on it. There's a particular app I use. It comes with for those of us who are using Samsung, it comes with it. So you can check. Calm, very, very good. It has some free meditation, guided meditation that you can go through. So I'm talking about meditation this evening because I want to play some very relaxing song, music, and it's part of the things that you engage in when you are meditating. So I'll just want us all to be comfortable wherever we are. Let's just, if you're on your seat, just make sure you're sitting comfortably. If you're on your bed, make sure you're lying comfortably as we all walk through this process together. So I'll play the music. It's just a soft music I saw on YouTube. So nothing special about it. It's just any relaxing music. For those of us that go to the spa, those songs that they sing, that they play rather, when we are being massaged. Fantastic. It's just one of those. So let's just be comfortable. Wherever you are, just make sure you're comfortable. You can close your eyes so that you can be more focused. I want you, even at this time, to recognize that thing you want to forgive. may be you, it may be someone, a friend, maybe a parent, a spouse, a partner, whatever it is. I'd like you to just see that person. And if it is you, I'd like you to refer to the you when it happened. So maybe the situation you're looking at now is something that happened maybe in 2010. So I would like you to, see the you in 2010. If it's you that you need to forgive. And if it's an individual, you need to see that person as well. You need to identify the person or the persons that have hurt you. Then you also need to now create a place you're comfortable, to go through this process. You can, in your mind's eye, you can see a vast place, maybe a luscious garden, maybe a place where there are flowers. Just create it in your mind. A place where you're comfortable. That's the most important thing. A place where you're comfortable. Then the next thing I would want you to do is to see the person that has hurt you. And I want you to sort of read out everything you can remember that the person has done to you. Those thoughts that you normally have, and it comes with anger. I want you to create you've identified the person, and I want you to tell the person all the person has done to you. And if it is yourself, tell yourself what you have done to yourself. It may be that you made a wrong decision at some point. It may be that it was a bad judgment. It may be that someone just keeps criticizing you. Someone keeps speaking evil, to you, of you. Whatever it is, say it to that person that has offended you. Don't hold back anything. Don't hold it back. Everything the person has done that you can remember this evening, say it. This is an opportunity to visit that place you've always covered up. That place you've not wanted, to visit. This is an opportunity. And I know that even as you're telling this person, you may become angry. Don't hold back the anger. Feel the anger, feel the pain. Don't hold it back. If you have to cry, it's okay. Don't hold it back. Don't hold it back. Feel the anger, feel the pain. It's part of the process. Quite a number of us, we don't like to feel, the anger. We don't like to feel the pain of what has happened to us at some point. And that is why we have remained where we are. But it is important you feel it. Feel it. Don't deny yourself the feeling. Don't deny yourself the feeling. Don't live in denial. Now that you have felt the anger, the pain, I would want you to drop it. Just drop it. Just drop it. And even as you drop it, I'd like you to think of 3 lessons you learned as a result of, the hurt that the person has done to you, or as a result of the hurt you have done to yourself. Three things you have learned. Three things you have learned. I want you to, to be able to lay your hands on three things. What we are trying to do here is you're moving from anger to appreciation. You're moving from being angry and you're being grateful. Because for you to be able to pinpoint three lessons that you have learned, for you to be able to pinpoint three lessons that you have learned, it shows you are moving from anger and you are moving into appreciation. Then at this point, I would want you to become empathetic and find out and try to, put yourself in the shoes of the other person. What are the experiences that this person that hurt me had that made him or her to do what he or she did to me? What could be the experience? Could it be that the environment the person grew up in? Could it be that, his or her upbringing made him or her to do whatever he or she did to you? And even if it's you that you're forgiving yourself, think back. What made you to do what you did to yourself? What you're doing at this time is you're understanding. You're getting to understand why the person did what he or she did, or why you did what you did. I want you to take time in doing this particular stage. Why did the person do what he or she did to me? Why? One of the things we know is that people do what they do per time because of the understanding they have per time. If they knew better, they would have done better. If they knew better, they would have done better. This may be a bit tough, but you have to do this next step. That person that has hurt you, that you have put the image of that person in front of you at this point in time, I'd like you to look into the person's eyes. Look into the person's eyes. Look into the person's eyes. And the next thing is for you to sort of step in, move closer to the person and forgive in love. At this point in time, I want to believe you've gotten to a point wherein you can actually step forward and hug this person. If you're still having a bit of resistance in you, that means at some point you did not do the process well. I'll share with us the process again such that you can repeat it even after now. It's something you can do by yourself. It's something you can do by yourself. So at this point in time, you should be able to, step in, forgive in love, and you should be comfortable to see the person, to look at the person in the eyes and give the person a hug. If you're finding it difficult to do that, then that means it's not yet, you've not done the process well. And I'll encourage you to do the process again. And I'd just like you for a moment to take the picture of that person off you and then ask yourself, your inner self, your intuition, your conscience, ask yourself if you have forgiven this person. And the truth is, you will know if you've forgiven the person or not. You will know if you have forgiven the person or not. Ask yourself, have I forgiven? If the answer is yes, then you have. But if you still have a bit of holding back on your inside, then you haven't. Then you have to do the process again. I'll share the process with us again before we leave tonight. And I'll even share this link so that as many people as want to go through the process can do it on their own. It's something anybody and everybody can do. I'd like you to, at this point in time, open your eyes. Just open your eyes, open your eyes. And I just want to get feedback from us. How was the process? Let's just go into the chat room and just get a feedback from us. I'll still share the process again with us so that we can go through it. Yes, I'm hearing soothing. Thank you so much for your feedback. It's something I've had to do myself, and it has really been of tremendous help to me. And I just felt, why do I keep this to myself when I can share it with other people? I know some of us, we came in late. I'll share the link with us so that we can go through it by ourselves. I've gotten just one feedback. For those of us who were here from the beginning, please let's have your feedback. Let's have your feedback. There was a point I said we should put down the 3 things we learned from what happened to us. Okay. Someone said she felt like a weight has been taken off. Thank God. Thank God. Someone said, I'm free. Thank God. Thank God. That is what, when you begin to live in forgiveness, does. I can testify. Whenever I hold anyone in my heart, I become, I can't create anything. I become, how will I call it now? I lose my creativity. My creative juice just dries up. Yes, a form of transition. Okay. Yes. But when you allow yourself to go through the process and you let people go, you'll just be living, loving, and laughing. My tagline. You'll be living, loving, and laughing. So basically, that is the process. I'll read it out for us. If you have your pen and your paper close by, I'll just go through it again so that you can have it written down and you can, do it on your own. There's nothing magical about it or spooky. No, it's something you can do by yourself. Okay, so let me just run through the process again. Then you can now pick it up from there. I always tell people, ensure you have a relaxing music on. Make sure you have a relaxing music on. Make sure you get into that mode of meditation. You free yourself of every form of distraction. You're in a quiet and calm place. Then you now identify the person that has hurt you. That's the next thing. Identify the person that has hurt you, the individual that has hurt you. And if it is you, identify you at that point in time. So if it was sometimes last year, maybe May last year, create that, you last year, because it's not you now, it's you then. Then the next thing you need to do is to create a space, a calm environment for yourself. And that was why, the music is important. The calm music is important for you to have, in the background. You identify the person, you create a calm environment for yourself. Then you see the person and you tell the person everything the person has ever done to you that has hurt you. Maybe the person has said something that you didn't like, has done something that you didn't like at some point. Whatever it is that the person has done to you, you need to let the person know, say to the person, you spoke harshly to me. You said something, whatever it is, just say it to that person. It's like the person in a court of law and you are accusing the person of whatever the person has done. Definitely, anger will well up on the inside of you. It can be painful. Don't ignore the feeling. Recognize the feeling. Recognize that feeling. Don't subdue it. A lot of us subdue things. We say, it is well, when it is not well. Recognize it. Recognize that feeling. Recognize that feeling. Whatever the person has done, let the person know. If it is a father, if it is a mother, if it is a brother, if it's a whatever it is, a friend, recognize what the person has done. Let the person, say to the person what he or she has done. Feel the anger, feel the pain. Then you drop it. Drop it. Just drop it. Drop it. Then you look at, what have I learned? What have I learned? What have I learned from this experience that I've had? What is it that I've learned, from this experience that I've had? At least 3 things that I've had. Notice. And I said that when you are doing this, you're moving from anger to appreciation. You are moving from anger to appreciation. Then you now become empathetic. What made that person that hurt you to do what he or she did? And like I mentioned when we're having the process, if the person knew better, he or she wouldn't do what he or she did. If the person knew, most of them, that is what happens. If they had known, they wouldn't have done what they did to you. And at that point in time, you're trying to understand, you're trying to put yourself in the person's shoes. Then after you've done this understanding, you try to look at the person in their eyes. Look at the person in their eyes. Look at the person in their eyes. Then you step in and you forgive the person. I forgive you. I forgive you for. I forgive you for. I forgive you for. I forgive you for. And you have to be comfortable seeing the person's face. And you have to be comfortable to give the person a hug. If you've not been able to come to that point, yes, we know there is COVID, but at least in your mind's eye, you should be comfortable to give the person a hug. If you find out you cannot give the person a hug, then that means you're yet to forgive. And you have to repeat the process again. So that's the process in a nutshell. Then after you've forgiven the person, you let the picture of the person, fade off, to disappear from, your mind's eye. Then you ask yourself, have I forgiven? Have I forgiven? And you will know. If you've forgiven the person, you know. If you've not forgiven, you will know. Your mind, your conscience will tell you you have not. A lot of us, we just lie to ourselves to try to. We are not so truthful to ourselves. And if it happens that your conscience tells you, if your conscience, tells you that no, you're not, you have to repeat the process again. So that's the forgiveness process in a nutshell. Like I mentioned, I've done it for myself. It has worked. I've become a better person, as a result of, going through this. And the beautiful thing is, when you make up your mind that no matter what anybody does to me again, I won't hold the person to heart, you find out that you can do it. That is what, a lot of people call advanced forgiveness. So you've forgiven the person before the person even hurt you. You just make up your mind. No matter what this person does, I'm not going to hold this person. I'm not going to allow someone to get a real estate in my heart, to take an estate in my heart for unforgiveness here, unforgiveness there. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. So that is the process, the forgiveness process. That is the process from the beginning to the end. And I want to believe that we've all been blessed, by this evening's session. And if you still need me to support you in any way, I'm here. You can always get in touch with me. I think I'll just drop my phone number on the group chat now. So if you need to contact me, you can always contact me. If you still have any need, if you still want me to support you in any way, I'm a professional counselor and coach. And when I'm told to introduce myself, I tell people that I'm an organized being, graced to solve complex problems with ease, such that every encounter with me takes you to a place of clarity, promoting your personal needs. So that is me in a nutshell. That is me in a nutshell. So if you need to still, have a conversation with me after now, you can contact me. My phone number is +234 818 466 8090. +234 818 466 8090. And I will be most delighted to support you, to hold your hands, and to guide you on your journey to wholeness. Thank you so much, everyone, for coming. Do we have anyone who has a question before we close this webinar tonight? Do we have anyone with a question? I'll be most glad to answer the question. Adebusala? Oh, sorry, it's not clear. It's not so clear. Okay. Sorry, we can't hear you. Are you trying to?
No
question. No question. Okay. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. Thank you so much, everyone. So we call it a day on that note. Thank you for coming, and I believe it has been a refreshing time. I'll try and share the link so that other people too can benefit from what we've had tonight. Do have a great evening, and God bless you. You're welcome. Thank you. Bye, everyone. You're welcome.